on, people? Man, cops got seriously ambushed on this one. Woman calls for help. Shows up to go help. Okay, that deteriorated quickly. So according to the report here, Phoenix police was shot in ambush. 9 officers end up wounded. This guy comes out later with a baby, sets him up, sets the baby on the doorstep. When they come to get the baby, he opens fire and takes out a few more. This is a good ambush. I'm not saying it's good. The cops were going there on a call to help. So, you know, when you get shot at and somebody's shooting at you, I got no problem with the cops returning fire and lighting his ass up. It says the woman, the girlfriend, also died. They're not saying whether she died from all the cops shooting at him and putting holes in all his windows, or whether she died from his. Again, we always get this cryptic, you have to decipher what's going on here. Let's see. February 11th, police called to Elmwood. I think Shakita was the girl who called. Let's see. Reports that a woman had been shot inside the home. The first officer seen was invited into the home by the suspect, 36-year-old Morris Jones, who has a criminal history and who was involved in transporting illegals across the border. He has gun charges and other felony charges. Shocking! Rick, you can't say that because BLM and you're just making black people look bad. All right, whatever. I mean, that it's just crazy how, you know, everyone's calling you a racist to stop you presenting facts. And if you present facts, then YouTube and Google gods will come up with some saying our fact checker says you're wrong. Even though they don't justify their fact checks, they just think their opinion's right all the time. A 26-minute clip Thursday, police department asked Jones who was in the house. He said, just me. She's choking on her own breath. Come on, bro. So he's sucking him in, getting him close. And he still misses. The guy's able to run away. I mean, this guy gets point-blank shooting on a cop who didn't have his gun out, who was walking up there, and he gets point drop on him, and he shoots multiple times, and he hits a cop in the arm. This dude needs to go to the range and start working on this. You know, you criminals out there, that's why, you know, a lot of cops are safe. It's not because they're good tactics or training. It's because, now in this case, look, when somebody wants to ambush you, there's not, I mean, you do what you can do. So this guy got out of the kill zone. He took off running, dodged, became a moving target, probably saved his life. If he'd have just stood there, stood his ground, and did, you know, probably what ass is training cops to do. You shouldn't run. You should stand your ground, draw your gun, and take a two-handed response and return fire because I'm an expert. I watch a lot of videos. Okay, go to your ass training and you'll get killed. But anyway, I digress. Let's see. Hitting the officer in the arm. The cop yelled 999, which means officer down. Jones tried to flee by ramming a patrol car with a vehicle, but failed. So, I don't know how, did he get in the car, ram, and then got back in the house? I don't understand this sentence right here. Jones tried to flee by ramming a patrol car with vehicle, but failed. I don't get that. Backup officers surrounded the house. Another man suddenly emerged carrying a baby girl. Footage showed, and I'll show that footage, showing him place the baby on the ground. I think he's, might be, this will be interesting to see whether he set them up by placing the baby down or whether the cops, they're not releasing the footage, told him place the baby down, which was a bad tactical move. If somebody comes out of a house carrying a hostage, you get them out of the kill zone, out of the fatal funnel, you move them backwards to a patrol car where you have multiple people, like they did with the guy after he set the baby down. These cops, I bet you, made him place the baby in the kill zone. Then they went up there and tried to get the baby, and the guy ambushed him. So this was probably a tactical area on the shitty policing, and somebody will be yelling, they need more training. No, they need to be held accountable for the training they get, and they don't follow. 4 officers were involved retrieving the baby, were ambushed by Jones as they opened fire again. 2 officers immediately returned fire. Jones barricaded himself in a home where he was found dead. These are the cops here kind of scattering after they go get the baby and they get ambushed. Let's see how many cops walked into a kill zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 cops walk into a kill zone. Had they let the guy carry the kid out of the kill zone into the street walked him to a point of safety. And I know there'll be some cop here saying, Rick, you don't know what you're doing. You have to have them clear their hands. They couldn't see their hands, so they had him set. That's stupid. Look, his hands are where his hands are at. If I can walk him backwards, if I can make him less of a threat, if I see the baby that he's carrying, I'm going to keep moving him out of the kill zone instead of having him place the baby on the ground. Now, if, and we don't know because they're not releasing the video, if he laid the baby down without being told, then I say he should be charged and he set the cops up into going to rescue this baby. But my guess is the cops were yelling, let me see your hands, put the baby down, put clear hand, let me see. And they went into automatic mode. I'm going to shoot you if I don't see your hands. So the guy was scared and laid the baby down right in the kill zone and fatal funnel. Bad tactics. Rick, you're just picking on the cops. Okay, whatever. Let's see. Police said ex-girlfriend, 29, Shatifa. Hang on, where the hell am I getting freaking? So police said later, the Shatifa died later while their baby was unharmed, which surprises me with all the cops scattering and shooting. Investigators have not said whether the other man inside the house, believed to be this must be Shakita's brother, faces any criminal charges. A miracle that so many people actually were struck by gunfire. I guess 9 officers. Let's go back and look at a video. Hang on, before we do that, let's go to this video because they freaking just started my shit and messed up where I was at. Okay, so here's some partial footage that either the news media is cutting or the police department is cutting.
Hospital, leaving 3 who were shot that are still being treated from their injuries. And today, we're learning more about the people who are inside the home as this chaotic scene unfolded. Called for help, but becoming the ones needing it. A total of 9 officers injured, 5 shot by suspect, 36-year-old Morris Jones, 4 injured by shrapnel. Police came to help 29-year-old Shatifa Lobley, who was shot in...
4 hit by shrapnel, which means it could have been shrapnel from their own guns. I mean, you really have to totally dissect anything that's said nowadays, and you have to look at how can this sentence be misconstrued into what really happened. So 4 officers shot by shrapnel, but they don't say the suspects fired bullets which caused harm to the officers. They just throw in that there were 9 officers hit and 4 by shrapnel. Yeah, because the cops were probably doing their standard policy of spray and pray. We don't care where our bullets go because we're not held accountable.
Inside the home, but as officers arrived, police say they were ambushed, the situation turning into a standoff. Police now say it was Lobley's brother who brought out Lobley.
Okay, so he's bringing this kid out, and I guarantee you the cops said, place everything on the ground, which was a dumb move. You got a kid, I want him away from this guy. I don't want to leave the kid here. Maybe he shoots the kid. Why would you have a guy place a kid on the ground? Who thinks, and I have no clue what is true, who thinks that this guy walks out of the door and places the baby in the door? He's trying to bring the baby out of a house where a crazy dude just shot his sister. Who thinks he sets the baby in front of the door without being told? I think that the odds of that is slim to none and slim left town. I mean, I just don't believe that. I think the cops yelled and made him put the baby down. Then they had to go up and rescue the damn baby instead of letting the guy walk away because you've got freaking idiots in the cops now that all they know how to do is shoot and scream orders and look for a reason to kill people. They don't have to think anymore. Thinking it's not even optional. You just don't have to do it.
It was Lobley's brother who brought out Lobley and Jones's 1-month-old child.
You notice how they cut that out? So they show him right here with the baby, and then it cuts. It makes me suspicious. They're trying to hide their ignorance and their failure.
It was Lobley's brother who brought out Lobley and Jones's 1-month-old child.
So here's the baby and his backpack. He's walking backwards. See, you got all these cops here. You're behind cover. There would have been absolutely no reason to have him carry all this stuff and walk backwards. Yes, we can't see his hands. The little pussy cops will be out here. Rick, it's dangerous. And you shut up, you freaking crybabies. We've had people walk with freaking guns backwards because they wouldn't lay the gun down. So nobody got shot. I mean, you freaking cops now are so pussified that you think the only way to handle something for officer safety is to shoot and kill everybody.
He was detained and police say not believed to be involved in the shooting. But as police try and help that baby girl.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Look at these cockroaches scatter. The light comes on. Let's see. All right. Let's see. Somebody out there with no tactical training and no police experience. Here's an idea. When somebody comes out of a house where a guy is shooting at us and he's bringing a baby out, let's have him set the baby right in the doorway so we have to get 9 cops to go get the baby. Who thinks that's a good idea? Raise your hand. Well, you're a freaking idiot.
They say Jones fires again.
We have another officer hit. We're going to meet you at 51st Avenue and Elwood.
You have a total of 3 officers shot right now.
We have 4.
Jones found dead by SWAT in Lobley.
Found dead by SWAT. They don't say whether they killed him, whether it was self-inflicted, whether it was injuries by them because of their great tactics in shooting. He's just found dead, and everybody's like, oh, good. The police must have done good because they're all heroes.
Later dying from her injuries. Phoenix police say Jones lived in Oklahoma. In 12 News' search, we found a man by the same name and age who's been in and out of the prison system for stealing.
In and out of prison means you have to commit multiple felonies to even get into prison. Then if you get in and out of prison, you're committing more felonies after you're out of prison, and you're in and out of prison. That's a slick way of saying, you know what, this guy, he just had some problems, and, you know, don't worry about it, you pesky citizens.
Stealing a car and weapons charges. In Arizona, both Jones and Lobley pleaded guilty. In Arizona, both name and age who's been in and out of the prison system for stealing a car and weapons charges. In Arizona, both Jones and Lobley pleaded guilty to
weapons charges, stealing a car. They probably left out all the freaking drug trafficking, murder, rape, attempted robberies. They left all that out. They just slid in, oh, he's just a nice, kind criminal. He just stole a car and had a few weapons charges. Yeah, okay. You don't go to prison for stealing a car, okay? But whatever.
Transporting illegal immigrants into the U.S. in 2020. Investigators spending more than a day and a half on scene trying to understand how a call for help changed so quickly.
Yeah, I'm sure they want to try and understand. They're trying to cover their ass so they can justify what they did and say how much money they're spending so they can say we need more cops, we need more taxes. If we only had more cops, then we could have got more cops shot, and then we could have got more fire department out there to give aid to the cops, and we can justify more government. Yeah, that's a great plan. And here's the initial video where the cop shows up that, again, we're only getting bits and pieces.
Come on. Come on. You're sucking our own blood. Come on, bro. Come on.
Who's all in the house?
Huh?
Who's all in the house?
It's me.
Who's you?
Okay, so the guy's screaming like he was totally panicked. He wasn't ready. I get it. He just got shot at. He probably got hit. He don't know how bad he's hit. He's probably bleeding. He's like, I got to get distance. I don't know if he was shot in his gun hand or why he didn't take cover behind the first car, pull his gun and draw. I mean, there's a lot of people that will come here and give all kind of tactical advice on what this officer should have done. I don't really know. We don't have enough information. I mean, he got out of the kill zone. It was an ambush. He wasn't ready. It looks like he was by himself. He didn't have backup. So I don't really have a whole lot of problems with what he did, and I'm not going to second guess that.
I've been shot. 999.
Okay, what I do want to look at is when he's approaching.
Come on. You're sucking our own blood. Come on, bro. Come on.
I see a light here, and I don't know if this is his light shining here. I don't know why he's shining here. He's shining over here. Maybe he's tactically sound, saying, I want to make sure I'm not getting ambushed, and he's looking to see if there's people hiding in cars. I mean, to me, that's normal tactics. If you're in a hood, you're in a shit area, gangs, you go to calls, you better be surveilling your areas because there's people. I tell a story in Vallejo for a while. We had to stop chasing people because there was a group of guys that would hide in the abandoned homes or different homes in the areas that were either abandoned or nobody was living in. There'd be 4 or 5 guys in there with 2x4s, and one guy would come out and run from the cops or throw something at the cops. Cop would get out of his car and chase him, and he'd run into this house, and the cop would chase him in, which I've done. And as soon as he got in there, he got beat up with 2x4s. They were beating the shit out of him. So after, I think, the second or third time, they go, look, don't chase anybody that runs from you more. And that's a great tactic for criminals to get stops, to get cops to stop chasing criminals. Now they can do their crime, and they know as long as they run, the cops won't chase them because they've created fear that if you chase them and you go somewhere, you're probably going to get ambushed, and you don't know if it's ambush. So for officer safety, they just don't chase. So, I mean, and it's an effective thing. But watch this guy's hands right here. This guy is standing in a bladed response, not really coming out of the house. He just looks. Now, granted, I'm looking at a video and I'm not walking up the scene. But the fact that he's shining his light over here tells me that he thinks this isn't a great area and he's looking for ambush or other people.
Who's all in the house?
So he asked who's in the house. Now, this is a call of a woman who's been shot. I mean, I don't understand this. You get a call of a woman that's been shot. Normally, when you respond, you're looking for fleeing cars, fleeing suspects, who shot, etc. A lot of times you get these calls and the calls are disconnected, so you have limited information. So the fact that this officer from Phoenix is walking up to this house where somebody has been shot with no details tells me his tactics aren't too freaking smart. I mean, I'm getting here and all I got is a woman was shot. I'm staying behind cover and yelling at this dude, who was shot? Come out of the car, talk to me, come out of the house, show me your hands. That would be a good tactical approach to this. Remember, you're going to a call to where a woman is bleeding because she was shot. And you walk up here with your gun in your holster, and when you get ambushed, you scream on the radio like you didn't expect it.
Who's all in the house?
It's me.
Bladed, hand hidden, walking. Remember, you have to get totality. This cop isn't going to a 911 hang-up. He's not going to a baby choking. He's not going to a domestic violence call. He's going to somebody was shot and bleeding. And this is the way he walks up by himself. Rick, they just need more training. No, they don't. Nobody's taught to do stupid shit like this in any academy. You were taught that if you're going to a high-risk call, you have suspects come to you, you get more information, you don't walk blindly into an ambush, or this happens. I don't think he got out, shots fired. He was just panicking. My donut! I dropped my donut! What did he say? I think he said
Who's
I
all in the
dropped my
house?
donut.
It's me.
Die!
999 is secret code for I dropped my donut. Anyway, look, tactical errors, yeah. Good, bad. Is that the... I mean, when you start with shit, you know, you build a house on sand and you don't consider the foundation, your house isn't going to last long. When you start with shit tactics and you walk up to a scene where somebody was shot and you got your gun in your holster and you walk right up to a dude and you don't ask any questions or get further information before you expose yourself, that's how you get shot. I mean, people, you know, these idiot cops will become, man, you don't know it's tough. Shut up. Cops go to this shit. We've been going to this shit for freaking 50, 100 years. You learn tactics. Right now, we've got a bunch of freaking idiots and cops that think they're stormtroopers. Nobody can hurt them. Nobody will do anything. They're protected. And if anybody does make them feel uncomfortable, they'll just shoot and kill them. So they walk around like they're Superman. It's called Superman syndrome. It's actually a syndrome that cops get when they get a vest and they get a badge. And they think they're invincible. So they do stupid shit. And then when this happens, we want to blame, oh man, it's this fault and that fault and this fault. No. It's the dumbass cop that used shitty tactics approaching. That's what's fault it is. All right? We'll end that there.